Today, I am taking over Real Madrid for 10 seasons because they need it. Even after building a super team, they're being destroyed in La Liga by Barcelona. And I haven't even mentioned the Champions League. It really seems like Real Madrid won't win any trophies this year. And for a club like Real Madrid, that's unacceptable. And that is why Carlo Ancelotti must make way for me. With the aim of winning as many as 25 trophies in the next 10 seasons. I don't even know if that's possible, but come on, this is Real Madrid, the biggest club in that world. If there is one team that can do it, it is this team. Welcome to season 1. We are just stepping in for the match against Arsenal. We all know what really happened there. Declan Rice. Wow, this is our team, and I just want to talk about the injuries this year. No Furlan Mendy, no Eder Militao, no Daniel Carvajal, and partly due to these injuries, they've had players like Valverde play at right back and Tchouaméni even in defense, but the rest of the team, I mean Jude Bellingham, Kylian Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr. 3 young players with so much talent, and they have Rodrigo, perhaps one of the most underrated players this year at Real Madrid at all. I mean, the attack and midfield are good. It's really all about that defense with so many injuries and no real backup defensive players. I understand that Real Madrid is struggling. Look, we have a bigger problem. The transfer window won't open for another 3 months. That means we have to row with the resources we have, at least for this season. I think if we replace Militao with Alaba now and play Frank Garcia as left back, that is our best choice, I think. I mean, the only thing I want this year is just to see if we even can do for one price. Raul Asensio plays really well in real life, but in FIFA, yeah, he's not blessed. And after this season, we should see if we can get more out of it. But for now, I think we have to keep. We really need to rely on our tactics. I want to play on the counter with such a forward line. And of course, there should also be many good coaches included. And with that, it's time to simulate to the end of the first season. It's the end of the season. Mbappe has recovered well, 38 goals this year. And I hope that also means good news for our team. In La Liga, we are still second, 1 point behind FC Barcelona. We made it really close. We also didn't win the Supercopa. Barcelona won that too. And also no Copa de España. Again, Barcelona. We do win a Super Cup this year. And of course, we win in the Champions League. Yes, you all saw this. We still lost to Arsenal 12-11 on penalties. And Arsenal loses in the final to Paris Saint-Germain. Welcome to the second season. The first season was dramatic, but it was mainly due to injuries. Carvajal is, for example, now returned, and the same goes for Eder Militao. I mean, it already makes our team much better. Real Madrid currently has 1 point, which means they are now in second place with FC Barcelona with 44 points. And this year, we will see which team can win the most trophies in 10 seasons. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Well, it's time for the transfer period anyway. And what does this Real Madrid need? I think we really need to go for a new right back. Carvajal is now 33 years old. Won't last much longer. And yes, just prone to injuries. He was out for an entire season last year. I don't know if we can afford to miss that again. And that's why my first choice is someone who is also well connected to Real Madrid in real life and is probably 99% certain to be heading there, Trent Alexander-Arnold. By the way, what is our budget? I mean, 250 million, of course. It's Real Madrid. In reality, they often pay nothing for such players because they just wait out their contracts. Unfortunately, that won't work with Alexander-Arnold. They want 106 million. I accidentally paid the buyout clause. No idea what it was. Trent Alexander-Arnold, welcome to Real Madrid. This makes Carvajal a good option on the bench, but I hope we learn from last year. I want to bring in another young talent who can always step in as the third center back. I want to go for Dean Heidse, an interesting player for Real Madrid due to his Spanish nationality and passport. Especially now that I've removed Carvajal, we literally have no Spanish players in our team, so I'm bringing him to the club as well. A good player for the bench and someone for the future. Before we simulate further, I want to talk about the rules. The scoring is as follows: an international trophy is 3 points, a league title is 2 points, and any other cup or trophy we win is 1 point. Additionally, we are only allowed to make 2 transfers per season, so we need to make them count. And with that, I want to simulate to the end of the second season. It is June 2026, the end of the second season in which we indeed winning La Liga, but not the Supercopa or the Copa de España. One area I want to focus on is the Champions League because you get the most points for that. We finished 7th in the pot, win 4-2 against Bergamo Calcio, win 4-3 against Inter Milan, and we win 4-3 against Barcelona, which brings us to the final. And we also also win that 3-1 against Juventus. Champions League number 1 is in, meaning 6 points after 2 seasons. How is our team doing? Vinny Jr. 93 and Mbappe 92. And that midfield is also getting stronger and stronger. The thing with this team, we really just need to give it time. On the bench, it's starting to go down. Carvajal and Alaba are only 81. Fortunately, we got Dean Huijsens for that, but a new fullback next year wouldn't hurt. Top scorer this year is Vinicius Jr. above Mbappe with 35 goals and 16 assists. What a season for him. Meanwhile, in the 3rd season, we can do a few things for that left back position. We can train Camavinga to become a left back. We can bring in a left back, one with experience, maybe Theo Hernandez. Or we are satisfied with Mandi for this season and bring someone for the future, and I think that's what I want to do. We don't have a lot of budget, 106 million, and for that we can't buy Theo Hernandez, but we can get Jorel Hato. I'm bringing him to the club for 60 million, and with that we have in any case a good backup left back in. And now it's again a matter of giving time. When I look at the team, the next one who needs replacing is probably an Antonio Rudiger. He is 33 years old, but by that time I hope that Dean Huijsens, he has earned his place. Furthermore, everyone is simply at the right age, so let's simulate to the end of the 3rd season. And before we even look at the standings, first let's look at the team. Look, that forward line is bizarre. That midfield, yes, I don't think it can get much better than this. And that defense, Mandi is finally growing. Maybe because he has competition, that might be it, but no, we could use some upgrades there. Top scorer this year, Vinicius Jr. just ahead of Mbappe. Those two are going all out, but what achievements have they made? We win La Liga, we win a Supercopa, and a Copa de España, and a UEFA Super Cup. But then the big one, in the Champions League, we finished 14th in the pot. That means playoffs. We do beat Dynamo Kiev 4-1. In the last 16, we win 4-2 against Dortmund, and in the quarterfinal, we win 5-4 against Barcelona. But in the semifinal, we lose 3-2 to Mbappe's old team, Paris Saint-Germain. No Champions League, but we did collect quite a few points this year. On to season number 4, the 4th season, and this year I really want to go for a new center back. Dean Huijsens is fun, but he just can't handle it yet. With a budget of 83 million, it will still be difficult to find a good one. Bring in a center back, someone like Saliba. His value is, for example, already 105 million. Now I think I want to go for this man. Castello Locoba, 60 million. Can we bring him in? And he will really last for a few more years and also has great potential. So I'm bringing him in. We'll put him at center back and a spot for Rudiger on the bench. For now, I want to leave it like this purely because our budget just doesn't vary much. More than this allows, so with that, we simulate through to the end of the 4th season. The end of the 4th season, we win a La Liga, we win a Supercopa, no Copa de España, but we are first in the Champions League pot, really unbeaten too. In the last 16, we win against Nice. In the quarterfinals, we win against Lazio. In the semifinals, we win on penalties against Atletico. And in the final, we win 2-1 from Barcelona. 6 points more in 1 season. We now have 17 points after 4 seasons. And to get there, this team has done their best. The attack and midfield are all over 90. Lukeba has already surpassed Rudiger and has even become a competitor for Huijsens, who is now also close to a starting spot. Somehow Monde keeps growing since Hato is around, so who knows next year. I also don't really know what I can adjust about this team anymore. We just have to save up for a year and then we can do whatever we want. For now, we certainly shouldn't be dissatisfied. Top scorer this year, Vinicius Jr., 37 goals, 10 assists, and Rodrigo is also going all out. Yes, I think I just want to simulate directly to the end of the 5th season. The end of the 5th season. It is June 2029. This time, first statistics, 39 goals, 17 assists for Kylian Mbappe. What a bizarre season. And this is our team. Mandi is dropping, but fortunately we have Hato who can handle that. Other than that, this team is really bizarre. The only thing I might want to replace next year is maybe Courtois. He is now 37 years old, really a fossil. This year we came in 2nd in La Liga, behind Atletico, but really far behind Atletico. However, we do win a Supercopa, but not the Copa de España. CD Castellón wins that. We do win a UEFA Super Cup. How did it go in the Champions League? We finished 1st in the group. We win 5-2 against Galatasaray. We win 3-1 on penalties against Bayern Munich. We win 5-2 against Juventus. And then the final against Monaco, we lose. What? Okay. I did not expect that. Season number 6 this year. We have 140 million. I want to use that for goalkeeper Guillaume Rests. For 90 million, I bring him to Real Madrid. And with a new goalkeeper, it's really time to simulate to the end of the season. Where's Vinicius? There he is. Because I just don't enough to buy a new left back for now. So Hato, please show it this year, the end of the 6th season, and we top the Champions League pot again. We win the last 16 against Arsenal. Before the final, we win against Barcelona, and we lose the semi-final against RB Leipzig. We go the other way. No Super Cup then, but we do have a Copa de España, but no Super Cup. In La Liga, we are second behind Barcelona. Still no La Liga. Should I start worrying? This is what our team looks like. Hato is now 87. Courtois has been overtaken by Restes, and Huijsen is also coming. Near Lukpa. I mean, I don't quite understand why we're having so much trouble with such a team, and I don't know what we can do about it. The only thing we can hope for is that it picks itself up again. And maybe a different tactic. Counter apparently doesn't work. I think we need to go for a wing play with Vinny and Rodri. Let's give that a chance. Top scorer this year, Kylian Mbappe, 42 goals. It's definitely not his fault. I don't know. Where the problem does lie, June 2031, the end of the 7th season. And this time, we win La Liga. No Supercopa, but a Copa de España. In the Champions League, we are second in the group behind Leipzig. We win 4-1 against Inter Milan, but lose 4-3 to Olympique Lyon. Top scorer this year, Kylian Mbappe, 44 goals and 13 assists. And that with this team, after 7 seasons, we have built one of the best teams in the world. I also don't know what we can change, Dot. I mean, even our bench is extraordinary. Let's just simulate to the end of the 8th season. The end of the 8th season, and we win no La Liga, but on the other hand, a Super Copa and a Copa de España. And who knows, even a Champions League, we finished 6th in the group. That means the last 16, where we win 6-0 against Juventus, then we win 4-3 against Barcelona, and 5-3 against Manchester City, which means we win the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain. 8 seasons played. Real Madrid is at 28 points. This year, the top scorer was Vinicius, not Mbappe, and this is what our team looks like. That forward line work, this makes no sense anymore. Meanwhile, there are players declining, but Valverde will still last for another year, and we have many injuries. Milito, Trent Alexander-Arnold, they are all out. I'm curious for how long. In any case, it's time to simulate to the end of the 9th season. The end of the 9th season. This is our team. Yes, almost at the end of the video. I don't think it's smart to now make transfers. Top scorer this year, Kylian Mbappe, 40 goals, but with that, he does not bring us to the top of La Liga. Equal points, but apparently the head-to-head result is not worth mentioning. They don't play a Supercopa, but do have a Copa de España and a UEFA Super Cup. What about the Champions League? We are 6th in the group like last year, then we win 5-3 against Tottenham, but lose 5-4 against Barcelona. 2 more points in season number 9. Let's simulate to the end. Then it is the very last season. It is June 2034, and that means the end of the 10th season. We are 2nd in La Liga. We do win a Super Cup, but not a Copa de España. We lose that in the final. 1 more trophy, we can win the Champions League. We are 3rd in the pot, but lose to Bergamo Calcio in the last 16. That is very unfortunate again. This is the team we end with, and still really a bizarre team. Hato is now even 95 and can still go on for at least 5 more years. Top scorer this year, Vinicius Jr., 33 goals, and Mbappe with 17 assists. That is not bad either. And Real Madrid ends up with 31 points after 10 seasons. They earned them through 3 Champions Leagues, 4 La Liga titles, 5 Super Copas and Copa de Españas, and 4 UEFA Super Cups. This is the ranking. Real Madrid ends up in 2nd place. And thanks for watching. Which team should I do next time? And click here if you want to watch another video